Kia ora, I'm Sheree Kinnear and welcome into the New Zealand Herald live panel discussion on the vaccine rollout for children. Joining me tonight to discuss the vaccine and to answer some of your questions live is Dr. Anthony Jordan, the Northern Region Health Coordination Centre's Clinical Director. We've also got Dr. Jen Russell here, the Community and Developmental Pediatrician at Starship Children's Hospital, and Dr. Materi Harwood, our GP and Associate Professor at the University of Auckland. How is it actually different to the adult version?
So it is a little bit different. It's a third of the adult dose. And that dose is appropriate for the age group. It produces the right immune response that we want to see. It gives children the right level of protection from COVID-19.
We've got another question here from Nina. So Nina says, my daughter is turning 12 in March. Should I be waiting to vaccinate her with the adult dose or vaccinate her now?
Yeah.
And once she's vaccinated with the doses now, would she be considered fully vaccinated once she turns 12? Or will her boosters be adult doses, if that makes sense?
Go now, Nina.
Yeah?
Go now, yeah. Omicron can arrive at any moment. If we discover it in the community, it may have already been here. We want to get those doses in before we get back to school and give kids 2 weeks to build their immunity up.
We know it's not about the weight or the height of the child. Their immune response is about their age.
That's a really great point. Yeah, so it is all determined on the stage and age that they're at, not anything else.
No.
So a lot of people worry about the rare risk of myocarditis, which is very rare. So we're talking about, vaccine myocarditis, inflammation of the heart that comes on after being vaccinated, and in the adolescent age group, I think it's adolescents aged 12 to 30 males, it can be something like 1 in 25,000. But having said that, the risk of having myocarditis after you have COVID-19 infection is an order higher, something like 4 times higher risk of that complication from COVID itself. In the 5 to 11 year age group, we've really nice data collected in the US from the first 8.7 million doses that were administered to kids, and they, in their safety analysis, they found 11 confirmed cases of myocarditis in children that happened after vaccination. So that's 11 cases after 8.7 million doses. So you can work out there what the risk is. It's very, very rare.
The World Health Organization take a global perspective of where they see the priority for the world to vaccinate. So from a world perspective, when we think about vaccination in places like sub-Saharan Africa, high-risk groups over 65, those with comorbidities, it's a ranking of priorities. For a country like New Zealand, where we have achieved such excellent rates in our older population, that makes proportionally our 5 to 11-year-olds our at-risk group.
I think it's helpful for parents to know what the common side effects are after being vaccinated. So my boy was vaccinated yesterday and he's got a bit of a sore arm. That's actually really common. So sore arm, feeling tired after the dose. Children tend to be more tired after the second dose, and I think something like 1 in 10 children actually need to take some time off school because they need to have a nap. Then they tend to bounce back and they're completely well.
Probably the most important thing my daughter was concerned about was that the needle is also smaller.
Oh, okay. That's good to know.
So because they see images of this long needle going into adults on the television, so she was quite happy to see and know beforehand that it's much, much smaller needle.
The mRNA, the protein component of it, is encapsulated in kind of what we call a fatty layer. That's kind of the cushion around it that helps it protect it. So once it gets into the body, it gets to the cells that it needs to before being broken down. Within there, it's suspended in a solution, and we call that a salty solution and a preservative. And that salty solution stops it breaking down in the vial, in the container that it's in, and in the syringe.
There is no virus in this vaccine that can infect your body.
There are a couple of reasons why we choose 8 weeks, to reduce any possibility of side effects being worse with the second dose, spacing out a bit. And actually, when you look at immune markers and spacing things out, there's a certain good period, and we learnt this last year when we were talking about the adult vaccine. Somewhere in that 6 to 8 weeks is quite a sweet spot for a second dose, and so there's 2 reasons we do it. Reduce side effects for second, and actually potentially improve that immune response as well. I'm going to lay it on the line, the death that we've seen overseas, and there is an aspect to this is, you just want to say we've done so well. We've done so well as a community by actually stepping up and doing this thing, and we're talking about vaccination now to help protect ourselves, but there's so many other things that the community has done to keep everyone safe, and it's just saying to everyone, we need to focus on the achievements that we've had, not get divided over a small sector of society fear-mongering what we have chosen to do because it's something that they haven't chosen to do for themselves, and again not allowing that to end up in sort of camps of, you know, anti this or anti that. It's actually, we all want to keep everyone well, and this is the way that we think is the best way to do that.
Thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. To stay up to date with all the latest news from the New Zealand Herald, click the subscribe button below or check out one of the videos here, and head over to nzherald.co.nz for more details on these stories and more.